Hello everybody, welcome back to another Expeditions Guide. Today we're taking a look at Alone in the Woods. This is a contract in the Transylvanian Alps. This contract is unlocked after completing crash landing, and you do need to have a vehicle with a sideboard attachment. So we're going to be using the Decin S-3T, and if you have any questions you can find my vehicle loadout in the description below. So let's talk about what we're doing. Right now our first objective is to drive forward and grab some supplies. Where are we taking those supplies? We're going to be following this path through the mountains all the way down here to the hermit's cabin. That's where we're going to be taking the supplies. After which he's going to ask us to get some more stuff. So we're going to head up here to grab a bundle of firewood, and then we're going to head over here to grab some water and then bring those back to the hermit. So that is a quick little thing. That's what we're going to be doing. So let me show you how it's done. So the first thing we need to do is grab the ration supplies. So we're going to go over here and add the supplies to our vehicle inventory and then continue on our way. So we're just going to follow the path out of the outpost here for now. And we're just following the path. Nothing too complex here. And then from here we're just going to go right up over the snow. And then we're just going to make our way right on up the mountain here. And right on over the rocks. Right on through here, and then we're going to head on down into the little sinkhole. And then we're going to head to the left. Right on through here, and we're going to climb up the other side. And then over here, we're going to go right to the left side of this tree. That's going to keep us out of the snow. And then we're going to head to the right, and this is where we have to go through some pretty nasty snow here. So we're just going to make our way through the snow and then head through the rocks. Just kind of slow going, but once we get to the rocks we should be able to pick up pace. So right on up over the rocks here. And then we're just going to follow this path down the ridge here. And then head off to the left. Right on through the snow, and then we're going to head on into the swamp. all we're going to do here is just cross the swamp and the snow. Nothing too complex or complicated here so far. But that is about to change. So we're going to make our way down to this little river. It's actually a lake, not a river. We're going to head right on down here. And we're going to head to the right. We want to stay right on the edge of the water here. It's kind of slanted, so we're just going to take it nice and slow. And climb on up the other side here. And we're just going to make our way through these trees. Right on through the middle of the snow here. And then we're going to climb up the hill. And then make our way over some more snow. And then we're going to head to the left towards these rocks. We're not going to go over the rocks, but we're just going to stay on the edge of the rock here. Just so that our left tires get a little bit more traction on the rock versus being completely submerged in the snow. Just going to help keep up some positive momentum as we make our way to the left here. And we're going to go right on the snow here. We want to avoid that little crevice in the rocks there. Just go right alongside of it. And then down the hill we go. And we're just kind of following the path that stays on the ground in between the snow. We got a little bit of snow here we got to cross. And then we're going to go right in between the tree and the cliff here. There's a little bit of bumpy ground here to go across. And then we got another little bit of snow. So we're just going to make our way through the snow here and then start climbing this cliff. And head on up and to the right. And then we're going to head to the left. And then from here we got to go across the snowfield. Fortunately there are some dry patches in the middle of the snowfield, so if you just kind of go back and forth between those, you'll get some little bursts of speed as you're crossing this, so it doesn't feel quite as much of a slog. And also the snow here isn't super deep either. And from here we're just going to make our way down the hill here. And we're just making our way through the snow in the woods here. You can see the hermit's house is right up ahead. That is where we are going. So once we get over here, we're going to head on down to his, I guess it's a driveway. Just some logs on the ground here. And we're going to head right on over to the drop-off point. And we're going to deliver the supplies. So with that, you want to help even more? Well, bring some firewood, and bring some water from a spring. So, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be heading up the mountain here. This is where we're going to grab the firewood, and then we're going to head over here to grab the water, and then we just got to bring it back to the hermit. So we're just going to do a nice little loop. Little loop through the mountains. So we're going to start off by heading up this way. So we can head up the mountain here so we can go get the firewood. Now the firewood does have to go into your sideboards, which is why we're using a truck with a sideboard bed so we can load that firewood. We're just making our way through the rocky pass here. Just nice and slow through the snow. But we're going to stay on the left side here just to get a little bit of traction on the rock. And from here we're just going to loop around the snow. Cross through some of it here. And right over here to the left is going to be the firewood. So right over here, go ahead and put that firewood in your sideboards. And then we're going to continue on our way. And this is also a good spot to go ahead and refuel the vehicle. So we're going to do that right now. And we're just going to keep making our way through the woods here. There's an airdrop right here, so we're going to go check it for supplies. We got an anchor and a gem. So we're going to add the gem to our inventory. That'll give us a little extra cash when we're done with this contract here. And from here, we're going to head on down into the rocks here. This is a little bit of a tricky spot here. It does get a little tippy, so you want to be very careful going through these rocks. So right on through here, and then we're going to head up to the left. Again, being very careful. It is a very sharp angle. And we're just going to get on the left side here, get into the rocks, get out of the deeper snow. And we're just going to keep making our way through the forest here. We make our way over to the water. So we're going to go right up the rocks here. And we're going to circle around the rocks. And make our way over to that pickup location. And once we're here, we're going to go ahead and add the water to our vehicle inventory. And as you can see, all we have to do now is bring this all back to the hermit. So we're just going to follow this path back through the woods and over to the Hermit. So we're just going to follow the same path we used to get through here, right around through the rocks here. And then our path is going to diverge right up ahead here. Because instead of going to the right there, we're going to head down the hill to the left. We got some rocks and things to go over. And we're just kind of going from dry spot to dry spot here as we make our way down the hill. Do a little bit of a deep snow trench here. We're going to use this tree to kind of pull us through it. And get right around that log. Right in between the trees here. And now we have arrived at the Hermit's house, and he wants those dropped off on the back side of his house. So we're just going to head over there and get those delivered for him. Right over here, and we're going to go ahead and deliver the supplies. And there you go, that is going to complete Alone in the Woods. I hope you guys enjoyed this guide. Let me know what you think, and until next time, I'll see you in the wilds. Bye-bye.